Hello everyone. Sorry I have not posted in a while because I've been mainly focusing on school, but today we are doing another class of steam engine that was on the Great Northern Railway. This time we are going to go with the least successful engine out of them all. Well guys, here we go. Steam locomotives of the GN Episode 6, the M-Class 2680s. After the disappointment of the L-Class 2662s that was shown in the last episode, the GN decided they needed a stronger and larger engine to handle freight trains. In 1909, the GN contacted the same place that the L-Classes were built, the Burns-Williams Company, to build a brand new locomotive with a new wheel arrangement. The result was the M1 Class 2680s. 10 engines would be ordered, and they would be numbered 1950 to 1959. A year later, the GN would buy more engines in 1910, and they'd be numbered 1960 to 1984. Just like the L classes, the M classes were articulated steam locomotives. They had a boiler pressure of 200 psi, 55-inch diameter driving wheels, a low-pressure cylinder diameter of 35 by 32, and a high-pressure cylinder diameter of 23 by 32. The resulting tractive effort was 73,085 pounds, which was a little bit more powerful than the L classes built in the same year. Now, let's get into the problems that they had. As you can tell by the wheel arrangement, they were not well balanced, so they were known to have a very slippery start when starting a heavy train. The GM would compare a M-Class to one of their 280 consolidations. You may think the Mallet would be better suited to haul the train than the Connie. However, the 280 did a better job at hauling the train and got over the hill first before the M-Class. This was also an engine that many crews didn't want to drive at that time, because when going over 25 miles an hour, these engines would have a very rough ride. So rough that, in the words of one crewman put it, I couldn't even keep my shoelaces tied. Because of their shaky nature, the cab gauges in the engine's cab would start jingling all over the place. The engines would be nicknamed by the crew as grass cutters. They would later get upgraded in the 1920s to be single expansion articulated, but that doesn't mean the wheel slippage would go away. This upgrade gave the engines 107,620 pounds, and they were reclassified as M2s. In the end, since the GM was not impressed with them, 22 of the engines would be rebuilt into 07 Mikados between 1929 and 1931. The 07s proved to be superior than the engines built before them. However, for some reason, the GM decided to keep 13 of them in their original condition. The M classes would be used on freight trains until diesel started to take over their duties. The M2s would be retired in the early 1950s, while the 07s were retired in the late 1950s. The M2s would be scrapped almost immediately, while some of the Mikados were used as stationary boilers until 1962, when they were cut up for scrap.